us know when you're here, and then we will start with you, my dear. And I figure we'll start with you, Alyssa, going first, because I like to do, like, I think a little bit more of your intuitive work first, and then follow it up with, like, any questions that are kind of with, like, a strategy with human design, if that sounds good to you.
That sounds great, and
Okay.
I should just throw in there that
Yes.
Brenna's amazing. She's read me before, done human design, and everything she said was completely spot on.
You're so sweet. Thank you so much. And likewise, I love doing our reading exchange. And how we met while we're waiting for Tony Ann to come in. How we met was my friend Ryan from childhood was a photographer. He took photos of me. Fast forward, also took photos of Alyssa because we're both Jersey girls, and he introduced us. So it was funny, like he just knew that we were gonna get along. He was like, "I think you'll like her." I was like, "Of course."
Yeah, he totally like hooked it up.
Yes, he really did. So I'm excited. Hi, Tony Ann. I see that you're here.
Yeah, Tony Ann's here.
Yes. So we'll get started. Is there any kind of like, hi, Katie, welcome. Is there any kind of like grounding that you do to drop in on the live, or any kind of words that you start with? I feel like I always catch you once you've already started going live by like 5 or 10 minutes. I'll actually see the notification.
I normally just, before I start, I just set my intentions of, okay, spirit, bring through whatever this person needs, whatever they need to hear.
I love that.
And normally I meditate before. Sorry, meditated.
Yes, I love that. I figured you would, in true like Capricorn rising Sagittarius sun, right? Yes.
Oh, you're good. You remember.
Yes. Well, because we're both Saturn ruled, so it's what creates some nice discipline here. So you guys will enjoy the structure. We have to do our little chatting banter beforehand, but we'll drop in. And I will let you take it away with Tony Ann, and then we'll pivot over. We're about 2 minutes over, so I'll keep us at like 10 o'clock when we're about like the 5-minute mark roughly. And then we'll pivot over because we have Terry, who's right after Tony Ann. So.
Perfect. And when you said you're dual streaming, you're on Instagram too?
I am actually on YouTube at the same time. We can talk about that like on the back end too, for you in the future. But I'm streaming to YouTube at the same time so that you'll see it, because I'll CC you on all the emails that everyone will get with their link. So.
All right. So are we gonna? Do you want to pull people up or just keep them in the chat?
I keep them in the chat personally. I think just for the sake of time and organization, unless it's easier for you if you want to pull them up on your end if you can.
I normally do psychic readings in the chat.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah, Tony Ann was specifically asking for general info on career and home changes in the near future.
All right. So let me start. Hold on. This lighting is so. I'm like having technical
difficulties. It's okay. It makes sense. Yes.
Help me. Okay.
We'll just put it white bubble.
All right. Let me see what I can get for Tony Ann. So just let me know when I'm at 5 minutes.
Yes, absolutely.
So I don't see you moving right now. I'm seeing the timeline being you needing to get a new job first. Once you get out of this job and you switch jobs, then I see you moving. But I'm not seeing that now is the time for you to move. There is some significant change with your job in April, so I am seeing a shift there. And then I do want to talk about you becoming more proactive in the coming months, applying to new jobs. I still see you leaving this company. I see you getting another job and literally leaving, and intuitively I feel that that's the right decision for you, because I just feel like we've outgrown this company. You've outgrown this company. I feel like it's too much stress, too much anxiety. We can't focus, we can't think straight kind of thing. But there's something about a shift in April, so I would write that down and keep applying to other jobs. Let me see if I get anything else about the job. And the moving stuff, I feel is going to be more significant next year, not this year. That's what I'm getting. So we're going to need to be a little patient, like piano, one step at a time. But you're going to get a job pretty soon. So just write April down. I do feel that your role is going to be, you're going to be doing a very similar role. I do see you in an assistant role. So if that's what you're applying for, you already have experience there. Oh, there is something else I'm getting too, because I was seeing you in an, there's two different options here, because I'm seeing an assistant role, but I'm also seeing you work in HR. Does that make sense? So there's two different options, but I just want you to know that everything's going to change pretty soon. So you just need to hold on. Okay, great. You just need to hold on pretty tight. I know you're losing your patience. I get it, but you're going to be fine. I'm excited for you. This is like a whole new Tony Ann. Like, you're not even going to recognize yourself. I just see you like releasing all the stress off your shoulders and just genuinely feeling more at ease and more comfortable in your new position. So I feel like you're going to be more respected in this new position as well. Like, you're not going to deal with the micromanaging that you deal with now. And like, I just keep seeing people breathing down your neck, almost like making you feel like it's not good enough, even though it is, because you bust your butt, for lack of better words. I'm not seeing that. I'm just seeing a manager who's it's just a better vibe. It feels like a little bit, it's more of a lax company. And I think that's better for you in this stage in the game, because stress is not healthy for anybody. And I am seeing another position where you would work from home. So I do feel like you'd still work from home like you do now. So that's all I have that's all I'm getting about that.
I love that. True. Yes. Well, I love a good, like, Saturnian ruled woman, like short, sweet, and to the point, where it needs to be directly hit. And I did send Tony, and I sent you an email because I have your birthday, your birth month, your time, and your location, just not the year. So I didn't know if we were comfortable, or if that was an intentional omission, or if that was a mistake or an error. So just let me know. And she may respond on your live, Alyssa. So if that comment may not necessarily come through on my end, if she writes her birth year and I don't see it right away, just let me know. Okay, yeah.
1972.
Okay, perfect. I guessed 88, so I gave you a couple years back on my end when I was putting it in. I was like, let's just put in a good number. So let me just edit this quickly. And it's so funny because even with 1988, like, I think of how with the birth year that I put in that came up instead of 1972, how her energy type in human design, because in human design we can be one of 5 energy types, as Alyssa knows. But for those of you who don't know, there's basically one of 5 that you can be, similar to how we can be one of the 12 sun signs. And so when we have that, the one energy type that Tony Ann came up as was a manifester, at least for that year. It may shift, but immediately I was like, takes no shit. Doesn't have a lot of patience for a lot of people, like, at least at this point in time, like, maybe they don't know it, but it's like that kind of like friction of like not really liking to be told what to do, because Tony Ann does know best, right? So it's like being in places and spaces where like that's appreciated is like totally reflective of everything that Alyssa just said. And when we talk about even the astrological transits that are happening simultaneously in April, we have a huge shift where we have all of these planets that are coming out of Pisces, Saturn and Neptune being 2 of them, and they're moving into Aries, which is like 1 foot on the gas, 1 foot on the brakes. So also very apropos. I'd be curious to see, like, Alyssa, and I'm sure it happens all the time regardless, but how much of you pick up on changes because of the astrological forecast, like when you give time frames and things like that, like when we have those big shifts.
I think I've done that before.
Yes.
I didn't even know.
Yes.
I'm like,
You can, well, you have my number, so you can just compare and contrast when, like, if you have a question about it too. I'm just gonna flip my camera here.
Later.
So yeah, right, like a little yin and yang. And let me make sure, little inception here, so you'll be able to see my chart. So in the little 4-ish minutes that I have left with you, Tony Ann, to do the remainder of your reading here, when we're looking at a human design body graph, it looks pretty complicated, but the main thing that I want you to take away from tonight is just understanding what your energy type is, because when you have that and what's called your strategy in human design, it's like everything else is a domino effect that falls into place. So you see what I'm looking at. What we're looking at is if you took your natal chart and most obviously the chakra system, and it shows us how energy is flowing through your body. Anywhere you have color, or it's a colored in, is like a little shield of armor that naturally protects your chakra from influence from other people. Now, just so we got the bite size, I'm actually going to turn my camera around so you can see me, because in the recording, you're going to see your body graph regardless. But when we're talking about generators, it is 1 foot on the gas, 1 foot on the brakes. And when there's a moment of pivoting, it's very hard for you to pivot if you don't feel like you have the proper support, or if we enter into something that at the time was a yes at 50%, but we really should have said no to it. So that pivoting and that struggle to pivot is really challenging. And especially because of a couple other elements in your human design that's known as your profile. Just for the sake of simplicity, it's okay if you don't remember the vocabulary word, but the energy there is really having this fear or this intense knowing that other people are projecting onto you things that they shouldn't be, or they may be kind of wanting to drag you through the mud for certain things or get your advice on certain things that kind of bring you into the drama rather than allowing you to stay detached from it. So I can't see any of Tony Ann's comments, so I don't know if she's absorbing or can confirm or deny.
Yeah, she resonates.
Yes, yeah. So just having that. And also the biggest thing that I wanted to say, which is the most important whenever I see this placement activated in a human design body graph, is gate 46. And it's really like the body keeps score. Like it's the most somatic of all the physical elements of a human design body graph. So when your body is off or you keep getting sick or there's like chronic pain in some way, really watching out for where you're pushing yourself. And as you know, a lovely woman born and raised in the Bronx and probably potentially still living in the tri-state area, or at least having that kind of impact at the core, it's a lot easier said than done. And then you do have a beautiful Taurus moon that's like wants that nourishment, just like you probably like in times when you feel really stressed, we're just dreaming of bed or that cozy corner on the couch with like a heated blanket and good food and like working to get done and be home and somewhere cozy. I think just really, especially when you talk about moving, like enjoying all of your senses and really making and focusing on like nothing is too frivolous for your home. Like make it totally Tony Ann, even if somebody else lives with you. It's you kind of have to rule the roost in that way of like being the interior designer, not letting anyone judge like what it is that you're doing with your home, because that is truly a place of pride and revitalization for you as far as your human design goes. As well. So, and definitely a lot of leadership energy, exactly what Alyssa was picking up on too. You have the channel of judgment. It's okay to make your judgments known. And I think exactly what you're saying, Alyssa, is obviously accurate with like just complimenting it through the lens of human design, where it's like you need your judgments to be appreciated because people can put some respect on your name and know that you do know best in that way too. So I love that. Thank you for letting us read for you.
Yeah, she said it's all making sense.
Yes. Thank you.
She lives in Hudson Valley.
Oh, nice. I love that. Yeah, it's so beautiful up there. And nice to have a little bit of like close proximity, but also a little bit of like grounding. Very earthy up there. So we love that. Okay, Anna and Celine, I see you both at the same time too. We have Terry that's up. Is there a relationship between Terry and Tony Ann? Are they like mother or sister or best friend? Okay. Well, that makes sense. Yes, with the year now. Okay, because they booked simultaneously, and then I saw the Bronx. I was like, okay, this makes sense. So for Terry Ann, just general about life is what she was asking for. So I'll let you take it away first, Alyssa, as I bring up her chart.
General about life.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I already know this about her, but I just want to piggyback off of what I already know because there's, of course, new information coming in. So I know your son just got engaged, but there is something coming through. If you know this, I keep seeing a honeymoon in Aruba. Invite me, I want to come. I love Aruba. Aruba's like my favorite Caribbean island. But I want to talk about a trip to Aruba that feels like a honeymoon. Invite me, please. I literally love Aruba so much. Let me see what else. Anything about moving. Okay, we can focus on that. I'm not getting anything about you moving for a while because I keep feeling stuck, and I feel that you feel stuck, but something feels stuck with this. I don't think now is the right time. I feel like now is not possible. Now is not possible for you to move. You still have to get your ducks in a row. I'm not seeing it this year. I'm really not getting a solid timeline on this. I think that you just have to focus on planning because I feel like you're a little bit all over the place with like like where you want to go, what you want to do, and there's just a little bit of wishy-washiness. Like, I know you want to leave, but then I also feel like, I don't know, something about this feels a little inconsistent, and I keep hearing like you need to focus and like really just set those intentions and go for it. But I just think now is not financially the right time either. So I want to talk about you waiting for you to for maybe the market to get better or something like that. Does that make sense? I know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm not seeing a move for a while. I'm not even getting a timeline, and I never like to just say something, you know me. I never like to just say something to say something, and I'm just hearing absolutely nothing, which means that it's just not for a bit. We might have to do like a check-in later. And I'm not saying you're not gonna move. I do feel like you're gonna move eventually, but just not now. And when you do move, wherever you're going just feels more peaceful. That's what I'm seeing. It feels like it's a more peaceful environment, which is good for you because, as we know, our environments could be toxic for us or they could be good for us. And right now, I feel like your house is not a safe space for you. It's noisy. Reminds me of my former upstairs neighbor that I will not name when I lived in Asbury Park, where it's just like stomp, 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 slam, slam. I don't know, it just sounds noisy in there. Does that make sense? It sounds noisy. It feels noisy. It just feels uncomfortable. I feel like you don't feel like you're at home anymore. Does that make sense? Like, I feel that you're not settled. Even though it's your house, you're not like settled. There's just a sense of I don't feel settled. And I don't know, it just doesn't feel like home for you. So I see you going somewhere more peaceful, more serene. You don't feel like it's your home. Just more peaceful, more serene. It just takes me back. I'm literally being like brought to a comparison of like when I felt like I wasn't home in Asbury, and I feel like you said, you don't feel at home. You're going somewhere more quiet. Just seeing a lot of green, a lot of trees. And you will get that feeling. You're gonna get there. It's just not for a little bit. I would just keep looking and seeing what areas of state, because I feel like you're not entirely dead set yet on where exactly you want to go upstate. I am seeing the Albany area though, because I feel that wherever you're going is just not that far away. You're not that far from the Bronx. You're not that far from New York City, but you're close. You're close enough, but far enough at the same time. Does that make sense? That's where I see you going. I don't see you going like super far out into the boonies, yeehaw, the country. Somewhere close. I'm just saying somewhere close to where you want to be. You're not going to be far out by yourself.
Yeah.
Hudson. Oh, so you want to go to Hudson Valley too? Okay. Yeah, I see. You're going to be somewhere close. Hudson Valley's close to the city, right? Sort of.
Yeah, it's like up, like Sleepy Hollow, like Kingston,
Oh,
like up, like literally up the river. Yeah.
Okay. Because I keep seeing maybe an hour drive max,
Yeah.
depending. Okay, 45 minutes to an hour. Okay, my math is correct. So that's where I see you going. No more than an hour away.
I love that.
I think you're gonna go where you need to be. Just it's not time yet for a while. There's just some stuff that you got to take care of, like anything else. I wish we could snap our fingers and be like, I'm moving tomorrow.
That would be lovely.
That's really it with your move. Everything else is just, I would just say plan. Just start planning. Now is the time, and really setting those intentions, because I feel like we need to focus on one thing at a time right now, and that would be, I feel just psychically like that's where your focus needs to be, is on that and nothing else. Oh wait, there is one more thing. Do I still have time or no?
Yeah, we could still, there's still, because I can do like so many of the vocabulary words you're picking up on are things I'm going to say, of course, because we're in each other's frequency and again, psychic connection. So finish your thought.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have one more thing.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I love that. The other thing I'm seeing is that I don't see you doing your job forever, where you work now. I see you switching jobs into something that is a little easier on you. So I feel like you and Tony Ann are just totally, you guys are going through very similar things, and I feel like you're both going to go through it, one of you right after the other. Like, one of you goes through it, it feels like, and honestly, I feel like Tony Ann goes first, and then you go after her, and you guys are going to have to be each other's support systems when this this is all happening.
Yeah.
So that's all I have for you, but you're gonna move close, like I said, that hour max, and it's gonna be really beautiful. So I'm excited for you.
I love this. Hi, Clara.
Thanks.
Yeah, well, okay, so I love this because it makes so much sense. I love a good generator and projector in relationship in human design because it is exactly right where like Tony Ann will go first and Terry will go second. If we see kind of in comparison very quickly, there's a lot of white in comparison to all of, and Terry's chart in comparison to all of Tony Ann's color that she has. And that doesn't mean that your life is colorless or anything dramatic like that. But as projectors, like Terry, you guys only make up 20% of the population. So there are things that Tony Ann can get away with saying and giving direction. And Terry's like, well, I said it the exact same way. Why is it okay for her but not okay for me? And Terry, it's like that Aries energy of like being really passionate about wanting things to go super quickly, but like remembering that a lot of the energy of your frequency and what you're here to learn, you're also ending your second Saturn return. So in April, there's going to feel like this kind of like pop of a balloon. I can imagine that these last couple years were pretty challenging for you, or just a lot of shifts in any sort of the way. Your daily routine may be changing. You also have this aspect called gate 5 in human design, but you really want to focus on, and it's again so much more challenging when we're a tri-state area girlies born in the Bronx. It's like go and hustle and grind, and your body is meant to do like the exact opposite. Your aura is meant to do the exact opposite, where it's like, I know who I am, and not to say that you don't already. I think you, like anyone, it's like immediately as I say that, I'm like, why are you telling me this, Brenna? Like, I know who I am. But it's like that kind of energy of like really allowing people to almost treat you a little bit, like the word that comes to mind is sovereign, and allowing yourself to have so much of that fire, but make it like a fire that people want to come and warm their hands around because you burn so brightly, not a fire that's like a forest fire that burns everybody's house down around you, which are two very valid experiences. And I get it so much so. But it's that, you know, when I say that, exactly what that personification of that looks like in your real life, right? And so exactly what you said, Alyssa, first, like starting off first thing is that like, I know a honeymoon to Aruba is happening, but let me just make it really easy for other people to open that invite or say yes to me coming along with them, or things along those ways. Instead of, you know, it's like the overbearing mother-in-law trope or whatever it is. Like we all see that happen, and every single projector, no matter if you're a man, woman, it like all of that frequency kind of comes off for projectors. Because you guys really do know best. That's why you two are besties. You both have that healthy sense of judgment and critique. And like, it's very warm. Like I love your relationship. And I think that there's like a lot of the two of your relationships that also is like, I think all like us, like we know so many like relatives or cousins that have that kind of frequency together that I love as a New Jersey girly. So it's just having that kind of support with each other. And I think like knowing that like you guys have such similar pasts, but like where you can feel supported with each other, but sovereign and strong in who you are as individuals, that make sure you're making the right choices, and going into the right spaces together. And it's like, it's kind of like a Lucy and Ethel, like it feels like that kind of energy too, which is really, really sweet and special. So just from your human design alone, and you know, you're meant to say things that are shocking, that provoke people, but you don't have to be intentionally shocking, if that makes sense. You could say, I love how the sky is blue today, and the people are like, well, I see that it's orange, not blue, or whatever. And like, that's inherently going to be something in your aura that shocks people into waking them up to things that they should be paying attention to as well. So just a little human design add-on in addition to everything Alyssa shared. But invitations, like that kind of frequency, that was a big one that Alyssa said that I was like, oh, she's already picking up on the human design languaging here, which I love. So thank you. And I will send both of you ladies in response, or everyone that's here tonight. I'll say before we move on to Anna in a moment, we've had 3 other people that booked while we're doing readings here, Alyssa and Anna next. But you guys will get an email with the recording link. So you won't see Alyssa on screen because I can't do dual cameras, but you will see your chart and hear Alyssa and I simultaneously. Hi, Amanda. Just so you guys know. But yeah, so thank you. So for beautiful Anna's one of my fellow projectors, just like Terry here, who is in Patreon. So she said, I'm open to whatever comes through. So I will let you start, Alyssa. She's a Libra, if that helps, just having a little grounding anchor point.
Libra. I love Libras. Like, I just think as a Sagittarius sun, I just love air signs so much. Like, we just resonate so hard. I feel like fire resonates hard with air.
Yes.
Let me see what comes through. And so she's not on my screen, she's on yours.
Exactly. I can read her comments as she's coming through. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm getting a lot of all over the place energy in the most loving way possible. I just feel like you're being pulled in different directions. And there's a sense of there's something more to this, because I feel that there's a need for you, and I feel like you're already doing this, to work on your boundaries. There's a need for you to say no, because I see people yanking you in different directions, and I see like you're like an octopus, you have 8 arms, and then sometimes it's like I feel bad saying no, so I'm just gonna do it anyway to please other people. This all screams people pleasing, and there's a need for you to really be mindful of that, because I feel like you just exhaust yourself. That's what I'm getting. Does this make sense?
She literally just made, and I referred to it on one of my last lives to refer another client to it who's also a projector, because she just made a whole post on her Instagram about boundaries. And it's like, I feel like once we make those proclamations to the world, exactly. Amanda's like, I'm a projector, I resonate. Exactly. It's like once you post it, and I feel like relating to this for both of us, it's like social media is a great way of holding yourself accountable, because you have to be authentic. There's no like smoke and mirrors, at least in the way that we do things here. So, and I know Anna's right there with us being the same way. So it's right on target.
Okay, great. And there's something else I'm getting. So I sometimes work with chakras, but not always. But I am being drawn to your heart chakra, just because I just feel a lot of being guarded, putting your walls up due to past experiences. But I want to talk about a lot of heartbreak and love situations. And just, I do feel like with this, there's a need to continue healing with that, just because I do see a bit of a shield with you trying to protect yourself. And I feel like this relates to what I just said, where I feel that in the past and even now, even though you're getting better at it, so progress is great, just people taking advantage.
Yes.
Does that make sense? And there's a need for you to continue to cut people out of your life. I feel like you're not quite done yet. I feel like you're in this transitional period in your life. As of even the summertime, August feels significant to me, where things change and you're like, F this, like I gotta cut all these people off. And I just hear you're not quite out of the woods yet. Does this make sense? And there is something else I'm getting. I want to talk about this feeling of stagnation in a romantic relationship. I feel like there's a lot of back and forth with this. There's something I'm getting of being stuck there, but then feeling back and forth. It feels, I want one thing, you want one thing, I want one thing. There's something tricky about this. It just feels complicated. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's she said that's crazy. I've been getting palpitations this week, and yes, lots of heartbreak. Brenna knows. Yeah, and I think just like when we set boundaries, like knowing Anna, and as a projector too, it's like her husband is going through a lot. Yeah, it's like having that and I think like unintentional spiritual enmeshment, like when you have a partner and you live with somebody and you are so open, and it's like you can't help but like feel, as we call them non-sacrals in human design, because they don't have a buffer with their sacral chakra. It's like you kind of are just like, wow, I'm one with this person, because you feel intuitively so intensely, as a lot of Libras do. Libras are very underrated, I think, as a generalization. The astrological community is being very intuitive, but it's that kind of you can love somebody so much no matter who they are, and you can't trade experiences with them. So I think as a projector, it's very hard to like see your husband going through something and not be like, well, why can't I just crawl into your body and become you and solve this problem? So it's that kind of like resonance. Yeah.
But there is something I'm getting. I'm sorry he's going through things, but there's something I'm getting about like needing to compromise with each other and finding more balance for one another. And I know that might be difficult at this time. It just feels very, very tense. And I think I just need to say that you're doing the best you can. It feels a little tense right now. And maybe a need to create space when space is needed, and just being mindful of that as well. So that's what I have. But I also want to say too, like I said before, you're on the right track with boundary setting. And I just think that's been a theme pretty much your whole life. But I do see you overall stepping out of that phase where you choose yourself. No more I choose everybody else, I choose me. and this is your year of putting you first, and it's not selfish to do that. So keep reminding yourself of that.
I love that. Yeah, and I think there's like the relational aspect of that, of like once you start setting boundaries, you kind of take a look and a step back and you're like, oh my God, like, is everyone, because a lot of Anna's like frequency, she said, thank you, Alyssa. You have no idea. Yep, I know what it's about. Thanks. And I feel like it's that energy of like, I know what you're saying. Don't say anymore. Like, I don't want you to say it out loud. Like, I know, or like that, like, even though she's open to it, it's kind of like that, like a lot of what Anna and I have talked about, because I've channeled her grandmother before, is like, because her grandmother like loves my pink velvet like sofa that I have like in the corner here, and she'll kind of have like, just, there's a lot of pressure on Anna to like always keep it together. So it's like, once you start kind of breaking it open of like, oh, I'm allowed to have an argument with this person, and it doesn't mean that it's like divorce right away. It's like, oh, like that's a weird place to be in when you, and because I've been through it as a former people pleaser. Like, I definitely had to go through as a Pisces, like, forget it. It's like, oh, you're broken, like Brenna's home for broken individuals, come on in, is how I operated. So I can relate to that in a lot of ways, where it's like us water sign energies can relate to that very heavily. But yeah, it's a lot of that pressure. And I think like, just because you're going through like this kind of, the word I want to say is like come to Jesus moment for you, Anna. 2 more minutes with Anna, and then we're pivoting over to Celine here. So I just want you to know we're running like 3 minutes behind of our schedule, but everyone will get their 10 minutes. But all that to say that it's like that, it feels like the best way I can describe it for you, Anna, is also like having a little bit of like an out of body experience, where it's like you kind of are like, okay, like this feels, and I've been channeling that for a lot of people when I write like my weekly horoscopes for the energy of the week ahead. I post them every Sunday now, and about like the heavy transits that we're all experiencing. That's exactly what you've been channeling already this whole live, and I'm sure before that on ones that I haven't heard, Alyssa, probably always up until this point, is like the Neptune and Saturn Aries conjunction that's happening, is like we literally are being forced to take one step in front of the other in this dense fog, because if we try to anxiously run through it, we're going to run right off the side of a mountain. But if we take our steps very calculated, we can get to the guardrail and know that we're not going to trip and fall over the side, and then it's end game. So it's very much so that kind of like, and I think always with projectors like Terry or Anna, it's a lot of that like feeling the, similar to us psychic mediums, even if our energy type is different, it's like feeling the energy of what's to come and kind of being on the forefront of leading people, but you have to go through it first. And it feels really disorienting when there's other people that you can't, you look to the left and to the right of you and you're like, oh, I'm actually supposed to be the one leading. I didn't realize that I was actually looking for a leader when that person was me and my corner of the world, So allowing yourself to kind of move forward with that. And I've known Anna for, oh my gosh, is it already 2 years? Maybe it's even 1. I'm like, what is time? Time, it feels so crazy anymore. But it's that kind of energy of like, a lot of what I keep hearing too, which makes sense, because we've been talking a lot about trees and forests already, and your first 2 readings that you channeled, but like, I can't see the forest through the trees is what also feels important to say to you, Anna, too. And just with what I know, like your personal placements are, and going through it in that way too. So I know that will, yeah. Girl, I lost track too, I think over a year for sure. I know, yes, exactly. So I'm glad that Alyssa has met Anna and you are in each other's network now too, because if you love me, you'll love Alyssa all the same. I love how, it's funny because I feel like you get a little bit more giggly with me because I'm also kind of giggly as a fellow mutable sign, but I love watching you, Alyssa, because you're so, like, you have this beautiful warmth, but also stoicism to your personality that I really appreciate. It's like, you're just like, what you see is what you get, and you don't feel like you're a feminine woman, but you don't feel like you have to perform your femininity, if that makes sense. So I didn't want to forget to say that to you before we left each other.
Yeah. That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Okay, so we have beautiful Celine here. I'm just keeping track of our minutes on the right-hand side, whose birthday is today. So happy birthday, Celine, our beautiful Floridian.
Happy birthday to you.
Yes.
Happy birthday. Okay.
No, I was going to say keep going. Bart, this is the musical part of the musical mediumship.
I can't sing. Everyone's like, can you sing? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I can sing.
It's the thought that counts. Starting a new career field or moving. Thank you. So a lot of the same themes today. So career or moving. Yeah.
This is really funny.
Yes.
Celine's in your life, I assume.
I'm gonna double check. I think Celine, give us a wave. Let us know when you're here. But yes, she should. I think she should be.
Oh, actually, she might be in mine.
Yeah.
Let me see. So, she's in my life.
Okay, perfect, yeah.
Career or moving? Let me see. Apple user. Oh, right, Apple user.
That's...
Let me talk about your career first. So, I do feel that there's going to be a shift in your career. I keep feeling like you're going to be doing something different. And I want to talk about you pursuing your passions. There's something I'm getting about you. I'm just trying to translate this because I'm getting like a lot of jumbled words, which is interesting. Oh, I understand why. Because I feel like you're not entirely sure where you want to go yet. I feel like this is your thinking space. Does that make sense so far? I just feel like you're still thinking, where am I going next? What am I doing? I want to be more fulfilled. I just feel like there's a lot of ideas. We just haven't exactly chosen yet. Let me see. There's one thing this kind of feels like it's everywhere. So I feel like I'm getting multiple different options. So we're just gonna go into them all really quickly. Because there's something I'm seeing about you doing marketing. It feels like a more creative space. And then I'm seeing marketing as one thing. But then I'm getting something totally different. Because then I'm also seeing you going into nursing. There's a nursing career coming up. So these are two entirely different things. And I just feel like, yeah, this is just in like 85 different directions. Like, and then I hear like, should I go back to school and do that? Or should I do this? But then I want to talk about you ultimately just being very creative. Does this all make sense so far? Because that's just like two totally different things. Okay, you're in a version of marketing now. But there is something I'm seeing about you just generally being very creative. And then leaning into the marketing stuff. I feel like you're very good at it, but I want to talk about you doing more marketing, but also graphic design. Does that make sense? I'm seeing the design aspect of it in conjunction with the marketing. And I also want to talk about you. You work in visual design now. Okay. I want to talk about you branching out to do your own thing. That's where I see this going. I feel like you're like, well, there's something about you that makes me say, I want to do something where I want to work for myself. I want to see where this goes. I do feel like you have that entrepreneurial drive, but there is an option for you to do this on your own, and I do feel that you'll be very successful if you do that. So I want to talk about you really just branching off on your own and doing your graphic design, marketing, combining what you've already learned and what you already know, and just I want to talk about you working with businesses, because that's where I'm seeing this happening too. Does that make sense? Doing this for businesses as your own business, which is going to be very beneficial for even just your mental health. Of course, owning a business of any kind isn't easy, as we know, but you can handle it. And I just feel like you're in that mode of like, it's time for me, and this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to crush it. So that's what I'm getting. I'm not getting so much about the move. I do feel like you have a little bit of ants in your pants. Like, I want to move now. Maybe I got to move now. But I'm not seeing anything with that happening right now. I feel that there needs to be more of a focus on your career, but I'm really excited for you.
It's so beautiful because she has this channel. Celine, you have this channel in human design that's literally growing out of the economic status that you were born into, but it's when you like don't put the cart before the horse. Exactly what Alyssa was saying about your specific Capricorn Mars placement in human design is known as the gate of drive, but gate 32, it's very fancy way to say that basically it's like this fear of being your most successful self, because you're like, hi Megan, you're like, how do I but how do I maintain the landscape of my $1.8 million mansion with 10 acres and, this wherever? But like, we're like, okay, but we're trying to figure out how to get our first like 1-bedroom apartment or whatever the case is. And like, because you, like Alyssa and myself have a lot of Saturnian energy. So with scattered, and like as, if we just look at our energy type, right? Like for Alyssa and I, we have more of like when you generalize, it would be more scattered, or having like, well, the multi-hyphenate, multi-passionate people who are here to accomplish many different things as manifesting generators. But when you learn to take, like Alyssa and I have learned too, one thing at a time, it actually makes time go faster because we're not dividing ourselves in 85 different directions. But it's so funny when you're like, I feel like so scattered, or like you're a nurse, but you also are, like juggle on the side, or like whatever the case is. It's like, it's that kind of energy of like, wait, but you also paint, or like Alyssa doing this tonight. She has an amazing vision. It's the vision board party that you have tomorrow night, right? Yeah. So it's like all under the same umbrella of spirituality, and you're doing your psychic mediumship, but it expresses itself in different ways. And I always say to really going back and looking at like the red thread that runs through it all. So like being creative, but you can also look at like the overlap I immediately like think of, Alyssa, when you were talking with Celine's placements initially, is like we have doing graphics or creative like marketing for like a med spa, of which there are 3,000, up the East Coast. I don't know if you're still in the state that you were born in, or if you live closer to Alyssa and I now, because there's a Floridian, New Jersey pipeline that goes back and forth very well. And I'm also a 94 birthday. So what I also wanted to say to you is that in astrology, every year, our birthday to our birthday, so for starting today until January 14th of next year, is what's called a profection year. So a profection is when you perfect the lessons of a certain house, and you and I are both in a 9th house profection year, meaning it's like any training or certifications or things that are going to make you feel, especially as an Aquarius moon, like you can stand, like you like know what you're doing. You're like, okay, I can go in with this certification. You don't have to go back to school and get a PhD in marketing or whatever if you don't want to, become a doctor. You don't have to. But it's like anything that just feels like you can get a little bit more of, I say like street cred. Like it just makes you feel a little bit more confident as a Saturnian person to be like, well, this is what I did and invested my time in doing this. Or just allow yourself to see this as the year that you learn everything about going like balls to the wall, full speed ahead, about everything that you need to know about owning your own business. It could be like I think of like Babes in Business. I don't know, Alyssa, if you've been to the ones in Asbury, but like that kind of like network as much as possible. You're a beautiful Capricorn. Like you have that warmth, but like I love a good Capricorn, again, ruled by Saturn. Alyssa's a Cap rising. It's that kind of energy that really allows you to kind of dig in and say like, okay, this is how I can make sure that I'm checking off all the boxes in the earthbound world that is also like seal of approval in a more like spiritually aligned way. So it's like, how do we make that, because Alyssa and I are both the same, right? In that Saturnian way as you, Celine, where it's like we are spiritual people, obviously, but we have a very structured way that we go about our business, which works really well. And it's really being able to capitalize on that is a skill set that not everybody has, but everybody needs. So you have that, cutie. So make sure that you're using that, especially you have so many planets in Capricorn that it's like really leaning into that. And what I love, and you'll see your chart just because I want to be able to see my timer here, so we didn't go too much over, but you have what's called an undefined G center. Watch out for codependency. Just because you see what a client needs doesn't mean you need to give it to them for free. So make sure that you have everything in writing. It's a bullet point list of what you have. It's DocuSign, it's black and white, it's business, it's dollars and cents at the end of the day. Thank you, Lola. So just make sure that you keep that in mind because you want the best for everybody with your placements, but it really is like, it just makes factual sense. I have to make this much money by the end of the month so that I can afford to live in my apartment or, move. It's like, again, not putting the cart before the horse, full circle, to make sure that you're making the right decisions. And you're really good at pattern recognition. Use that as an example of like, okay, I see what the red thread is or the pattern is of who the type of clients are that I attract and who are the people that I like to work with. A med spa that's used to billing is not the same as an artist that you have to track down to make a payment, right? Same energy, creative, but a different type of frequency off the rip that you don't necessarily have to chase down or contort people to understanding in your first year of business what it means to pay a bill on time. I'll say, just because I know I used to work in arts and music management, so like the creative brain, I'm very familiar with chasing down for invoices, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to do that anymore. Now that I'm 30 and I have a house and have a mortgage to be responsible for, so I'll pin that for now. But thank you, Celine, and happy birthday again. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your birthday. Thanks for spending part of it with us. Yeah. And we're pivoting over to beautiful Margaret now. The number 44 keeps coming up with 33, 44. And Margaret was saying, feeling like bad things keep happening since we moved in October, spirit guided general reading.
Oh.
So, yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I know.
Okay, I'm gonna sound like Marie Kondo right now. First things first, because I want to talk about your house. I feel like there's a lot of clutter, like physical clutter, and then if you're familiar with Marie Kondo, I know Brenna, you're familiar with Marie Kondo.
Very much so.
It's all about like cleaning the space and organizing the space, and I agree with that. Like it's that feng shui energetic flow. I just feel like you might still have boxes everywhere, or there's something about like I just keep seeing boxes. I'm getting a lot of visuals. Does that make sense? I feel like we need to like organize or like get on top of that. I'm not saying that has anything to do with why things keep going wrong, but I just feel like I just keep seeing like things left undone, or like tasks left undone that we need to focus on. That's the first thing I'm getting, so let me know if that makes sense for Margaret. She's not in my life.
Yeah, I don't see her in the chat here, so we'll wait a moment. Sometimes there's like a little delay. Yeah, it was all of the because we got a lot of Aries placements today, so and also Margaret being in Aries, and it's like the moving, like it's easier for Aries to trip. I say Aries are like the babies of the zodiac that are learning how to get their sea legs. Like they just got here and they're like, oh yeah, like I do have a human body. Like when I walk into a room, like I do have to walk around the furniture because I can't physically go through it like a spirit could. That type of energy. I think of like the show Charmed. And that's what I was thinking too, like even the visual as you were talking, Alyssa, is very much so like a cluttered practical magic house, like that kind of energy. So having that, yeah. Okay.
There is something else I'm seeing. I'm sorry.
Amanda said, I didn't get on the list, but yes, we're here. Is that Margaret's with you, Amanda? Or, because I have Margaret, just so I know. Oh, let's see. Oh, Carol. Oh, wait. So we started Margaret early, and then we'll go to Carol, because Carol, sorry, I just realized Carol was before Margaret here. Margaret, let me know if you're here. And then if not, we'll pivot. We'll do like a back and forth. That was my fault. I'm sorry about that. Because maybe she isn't in the live yet. Like maybe she was getting settled. I know. Sorry. This is what happens, my squirrely, like once I start, like, it's interesting doing this simultaneously with you because I have that, like going in and out of the structured organization of it and also starting to, like, channel in my own way. But let's pause. Okay, let's pause for a moment. Since Margaret isn't answering, let's go to Carol and then see, and then we'll start. Okay, so let's do that.
Wait, how many, just out of curiosity, how many people?
So total, how many people left or how many people in total?
How many people left?
We have Margaret, Carol, Maria, Lisa, Lorraine, and Lori. So 5.
That's it, right?
That's it in terms of who's booked so far. I think that brings us to, because the last one's at 9.
Somebody's asking if we have any more spots.
Let me double check. How are you feeling? Like, do you want to... If you go to the link, I do it that way just so people can kind of see. And if there's no spots left, I usually just have people tell me. But the link is in my bio. It's not, I don't think it's in yours. Is it, Alyssa? Or that's okay.
But I will say, if we have 5 more people, that's another 50 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
it's up to you. We could take one more if you want.
Yeah.
Margaret did not make while you're doing that. Margaret is here.
Okay, Margaret is here. Okay, so we'll finish with Margaret and then we'll move to Carol. Thank you, Carol.
Did that make sense? I just want to make sure because I didn't know if you heard anything we said.
Yeah.
Also, we're just going on and on. And you hear me?
But also very like apropos of the energy we were talking about anyway. Like, are we here?
She didn't hear anything we said.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's pivot over. What do you want to do? I should ask you too. Do you want to do Carol now and then we'll just push everyone like 10 minutes or you want to finish with Margaret?
We can finish with Margaret because
okay.
Because
for the sake of
we made a mistake. So
yes.
Margaret, we were just saying. Well, I was saying. Brenna was saying. Because we asked about the move, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I kept seeing a lot of clutter. Like I was getting a lot of visuals with my clairvoyance, and I saw like I wanted to talk about Marie Kondo, and like I kept seeing boxes stacked up, like needing to still clear the space, like for feng shui, but like really clearing physical clutter so we can clear the space. Does that make sense? I just get a sense of like needing to get on top of that, like organizing. This all feels really recent though anyways. That was just something I was getting in terms of visuals. Let me see what else. Oh, I see.
What did she say?
Sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry that happened. Is there anybody that can help you move stuff? I feel like that's what I'm getting, because I'm like, there's so many boxes, we have to unpack them, we haven't been able to do anything. So you just got into an accident. Oh no. Okay, I hope somebody, I'm like gonna manifest that somebody can help you, because I see you getting so frustrated because you're like, nothing's gotten done. Yeah. Nothing's gotten done, I can't do it because of my back injury. I want to talk about you going to physical therapy as well. I'm sorry. So I want to talk about you rehabbing and going to physical therapy. So I feel like that would be helpful. I know you're not quite out of the woods yet with that. Man, I'm sorry. This is just like one thing after the next. Like boom, 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 boom. It's not going to be forever, and it sounds cliche, but like we could use a little mindset shift. Like it's not going to be forever. Things are going to get better. I think this is going to be just another tough couple of months.
The quick like astrological component to that is that Margaret is going through her Uranus opposition, and Uranus is literally the planet of like sudden change, chaotic energy. But it's like, I feel like the immediate reaction is like, oh great, like I got this read. It's like a little bit of like an edge to it in your response of like the like we have no, and I know you know this like logically, right? But it's like easier, like when we have when we have problems, we can have many different problems. When you have a health problem, we then have one problem. And until that health problem is solved, it's like a domino effect of your life. But it's really, this is a time where it's like the best thing I could say is like, even if you didn't do it intentionally, you want to start to look at where you play a role in your own suffering. Not to say that the accident was your fault, or like, you know, when people get untreatable illnesses, like I'm not talking about things like that, but really like slowing it down. And it's like, this is a huge moment for you to really like, it's what the big theme for everybody right now. None of us are immune to these transits. We're all going to be going through this kind of dense fog where it's like we're being told that there's safety on the other side of the fog. It's not like we can't see what's happening, but it's really needing to be very intentional about what our next steps are. And for your placements as well with your Venus sign, it's allowing people to surprise you with who is going to help you. Very much so about your chart. It's more about your chosen family and the community of support you find along the way versus the people that are supposed to obviously give us support in the eyes of society, right? Like for my mom, for example, I don't have a relationship with my mom, but like I have other people that fulfill those types of needs for me in my family with my aunts and, you know, my great aunts, like people in my life. So it's like a sadness for the relationship of mourning that loss, but also like an acknowledgement of who can actually surprise you when you're ready to feel more open to that sort of stability. It can be like, you know, knowing that we find bits of and pieces of what we need in individual people to make a community, rather than it being like, well, this person, this doctor has to solve all these problems in this way, because that's what they teach us to think, to rely on a 1-for-1 scale. But like, how can we kind of grow into feeling that a little bit more? So I'll pause there just to see if there's anything else that Margaret said in the chat before we pivot over. We have 1 minute.
There's a puzzle piece thing and it's
yes.
not working.
I know it does that a little. Mine just did it too. Yes, we can always see you. It just, for whatever reason, it'll pop up as like making sure that you're still active.
It literally won't. It's just not working.
Yeah.
I'll ignore it temporarily. Okay, we're good.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I feel like just right now it's just gonna be, you're gonna have a tough time. In terms of the car accident too, I want to talk about a payout because I keep seeing a payout. Let me see what else about this. Something, I don't always like talking about legal stuff, but something about this feels tricky with the payout. Like I want to talk about you getting a payout, but just not right away. But I am seeing you get something. Does that make sense? I feel like it's not what we expect, or it comes as a surprise.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I used to work in car insurance, actually. So I'll say educational purposes only. But there are some states where, like, in New Jersey, it's like it's your fault or it's my fault. In like Pennsylvania, it's like it was both of your faults at a percentage for both being together in this accident, as a generalization. So sometimes it's like there's so much about what we think, what we pay for, and then that you realize like, oh, that's why, you know, like that, like there's coverage and that kind of stuff. It's like, make sure that you know that you're allowed to ask any questions that you need, and don't let anyone make you feel like, as your body is healing, like of course your brain is like gonna be, your whole body is helping you heal. So don't let anyone make you feel like any question is too dumb or too silly or too simple. I spent a lot of time working in insurance where like that was like, especially for women, that it's like, oh, only men know about cars is like the stigma. And then I show up and I'm like 24 and they're like, you know what you're talking about more than me. But it's like, just to know that like, don't let anyone make you feel inferior without your consent. Eleanor Roosevelt. I think that can probably apply to multiple areas of your life, if I had to guess. But this is a really good, like, I think even in as challenging as it is, like our challenges can help remind us of how strong we can actually be in showing up for ourselves when we really need it. And there is a lot of empowerment, as isolating as it can be. And I know because I've been there in different ways, like when you solve a big issue like that, somewhat on your own, there is an uncomparable level of confidence that you do get on the other side. But again, it's like a full circle, like to the same kind of explanation of, it's very hard to see the forest through the trees while you're in it, but literally just take, even if it one day feels too long, every hour at a time, confirmed with your placements, and exactly what Alyssa shared as well. So we'll keep you in our prayers. I know my angels are always looking over my people simultaneously. I always call them in. And thank you for letting us read for you. Thank you for letting us know that you were here too. And I'm sorry, Carol. Yeah, Carol. I know that always happens. Yes. Well, because I'm the same way. Like when I'm getting a reading, I'm like, I defer to the expert. Like with Alyssa, I'm kind of like I yap all the time, so let me listen. So I always say that. And then thank you guys for dealing with our technical delay. I know beautiful Carol, who's very sweet. So she's very understanding, so I'm thankful for that.
No, Margaret, we got the time wrong. We swapped.
Yeah, you got an early shift. Yeah.
Not an early shift. We made a mistake.
It's not you. But I just like to make sure that everyone knows, at least, you know, and people are good to hang out. So thank you. But for beautiful Carol, there is nothing wrong with only having more than one sentence. You can ask as many as you want. But general for career this year, moving forward physically, mentally, and without struggle in it at all, will I also physically move locations this year? It's so funny. I know. Well, it's a Sagittarius moon today, which is all about freedom. You're a Sag. My Sag is in the 11th house. So it's like, okay, where are we going? How do we come up with strategy? Like, what's the logical approach as much as the spiritual guidance? So, yeah, Carol's all for it. So thank you, Carol. Fits for the time.
Ooh, I want to talk about a really exciting era for you. I'm seeing a big move. I feel like we're planning a big move. I want to talk about moving far. I want to talk about. There's a couple things I'm getting. I am seeing two things. I'm seeing West Coast. I am seeing you in California as well. Let me know if that makes sense in the comments.
She said she's a Sag moon and rising as well, and that she might cry. And your North Node is in Sagittarius. Like, you're meant to, like, your direction is, like, going in the direction of feeling, like, more free. Like, you don't give a fuck, like, in the best way.
Yes. I want to talk about exploring, like, just generally, and then I'm also seeing more travel before we settle down, which is such a Sag thing. But there is something I'm seeing where it's like, I feel like you move far, you move states. But I was seeing California highlighted specifically.
Yeah, she said, not yet. It doesn't make sense, but I've given more thought to the West Coast.
Okay.
Yeah. Even like the little altar spaces.
I'm seeing like you go from East Coast to West Coast. And being in warm weather, palm trees, like I keep seeing Florida too.
That's so funny.
I feel like we go Florida to California. East Coast, West Coast, and then you wind up on the West Coast, but there's two significant places. I am seeing California, but I'm also seeing Portland, Oregon specifically.
She literally just said Washington, like Washington State. And she's always lived in Georgia, the Georgia coast or Georgia mountains. So that's so funny.
So that's why I was seeing Florida. So I saw you going from down south, East Coast, and then to the West Coast. Yes. No decisions made yet, of course, as you've said, but West Coast feels really nice for you. There's just a need to not jump the gun. Make sure you get your feet on the ground. Really just don't make an impulsive decision. I feel like you struggle with that at times. Or maybe you make decisions when you feel very emotional as opposed to like really grounding before making the decision. So there's a need. This is a big move. So there's really a need to, because I keep seeing this little trip that you do for a couple weeks where you're like, I'm in California, I'm in Oregon, I'm in Washington State, and I'm just feeling out what intuitively feels right for me, and then I make my decision. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be, you're being called there, and I feel like this is just spiritually, you're being pulled there. You do feel very spiritual as well. Yeah. I feel that you also are very psychic. Brenna would know more than me, but I know you have Sag places, but I'm also seeing some Scorpio in there.
Yeah.
And you're just highly, highly intuitive, and you're having like a very just intuitive nudge, like, I need to get out of here. You're meant for big things. I see you in a place that's like not, I keep seeing like you in where you are now, it's more like small town vibes, like quiet. And then I want to talk about you moving to a place that's more of a city, but you're not directly in the city, but you're close enough. Like, I feel like you're supposed to be more around other people, more in a place where it's like, I'm close enough to the city, I'm in civilization, but also I'm far enough away from that. But it's just like you're meant to be around more people, I feel. And there's something here about you meeting new people and then meeting the right people. I like the West Coast for you. That's where I'm seeing you go.
I love that. Yeah, because I think the West Coast is like there's still city life and that activity, but it's like slower in comparison to like New York, right? If you move to New York and you're like from Georgia and you like, it's like, what am I doing? You know, people are angry. You're like, why are people yelling at me? And no one is like thinking that they're yelling, that sort of energy. She said, a town, yes, MS, blah. I'm close to Memphis. Yeah, it's walking out of Memphis instead of walking in Memphis. Kind of like the riff on the song. But yeah, emotional, not impulsive. Because you have like really the only Aries placements that you have, it's your Jupiter and your Mars in kind of like a wider conjunction. Yeah, and why would overwhelm me? I'm kind. Yeah, absolutely. That's why, like, exactly to Alyssa's point, you get the best of both. Because there's a lot of Gemini and a lot of Sagittarius, which are sister signs. So it's like that freedom of expansion. Like, I think it's like even mentally stimulating. But I also, riffing off what Alyssa said, with your design, but also intuition in mind too, is that like just what you see us doing now for her and I, I was in someone's live watching other people do what I do, 5 years ago even. I've only been on TikTok for like 3 years. So it's like, allow yourself to know that like you're allowed to take up space in your corner of the world and the internet and connect with people to talk about the things that you want to connect with too. And it's like really deciding and getting down to like, okay, I want to be seen, right? And then I think like writing that kind of at the top of a piece of paper and then starting to peel back the layers, even if it's one sentence a day, on like what it is that you need to get to the nugget of truth to understand, like what that kind of like sticky gum that's on the bottom of the desk, like how to get that off. Yeah, during a couple years, I love that. And I think it's like, years is great, but how can we turn that into like weeks, and like what, like now it's like the snowball is compacted over the years. Like, how are we rolling it down the mountain and making sure that it gains a little bit of traction? Especially in this new beautiful decade of life for you. Like, this is an exciting time to really be like, you're what's called on the roof in the eyes of human design. So fully embodying, like kind of coming back out again, out of your shell as the 6-2 profile and being like, this is what I want. And Maria, thank you. We're just 10 minutes, behind, but Maria's for 8 o'clock, but we have a break at 8:10, so no one booked for 8:10, just to let you know, Alyssa. But yeah, so just kind of allowing yourself, Carol, to see it as like it's calculated risk, I think, is basically the way that we can explain you in a nutshell. And so exactly to your point, also for Pisces season, your Black Moon Lilith being a little bit activated, but like allowing yourself to just take up room, like and who are the people that you actually respect enough. Like, I was talking to somebody about this today, which also feels relevant for you, Carol, of like, we equate, when we're kind of looking at the celebrity culture from the outside, and Alyssa and I also, like, being in Asbury Park, like adjacent to like a lot of like, I think of like the Danny Clinch Transparent Gallery and Bruce Springsteen just like walking around, like you kind of are like, okay, yeah, he was here at Tallulah's when I was here at the same time getting pizza, whatever. Like, it's knowing that these are people. Like, you can be somebody that you don't have to be a Bruce Springsteen or an actress to get the satisfaction of recognition, right? So it's like figuring out like, yeah, past experience has stunted my confidence. I feel for you. And I think as part of like because we're not terribly far apart in age, but it's like Alyssa and I are a different generation where so much of our intergenerational relationships with women in their 40s and 50s is like, you walked so we could run. Now we're running back to pull you forward to say like, people really don't fucking matter in that way. Like, anyone that's Alyssa and I, I feel like we're very good, especially at least like at this point in time, like swatting away the flies in the internet. It's like nobody that's truly and I know we hear this and we understand it, but nobody that's actually commenting on anything that you're doing is doing more than you. Like, it's like, if you guys see the people, right, like in our lives, like, and like they're, I don't know, it's like they're tone deaf and they're not anyone that I'd be interested in hanging out with anyway. So it's like, and whatever, I had somebody comment yesterday on one of my YouTube lives, like, as if I'm not there, but meanwhile there's like 5 people in this live, so it's not like there's 500 people, but they see it all the same, right? Because they don't know the experience of being on live, and they're like, what does she think she's doing going on live and that she'll get famous or something like that? And I'm like, but like, real person to real person, like, don't be mad because you won't get up and just do the same thing. Like, it's also possible for you. Like, there'll be, I'm sorry I struck a chord, but that's not my problem. And what it comes down to, I think, because of past experiences, Carol, is knowing that it's safe to be seen by people who don't understand you. It's safe to be seen by people who don't even like you. It's safe to be seen by people who have negative thoughts about you. It doesn't mean that God's going to come down and strike you with lightning. And that's how it feels internally with our anxiety. But see how funny it is? Like, once we say it out loud, we're like, oh yeah, like that just like kind of squashes that experience and I can move forward. So just kind of flexing that muscle and paying attention to that, I think will be helpful for you. Yeah, forever we've run off of that type of society, but it never fit. And it won't. Like, Pluto and Aquarius there's no room for that anymore. Anyone that we see that's been hiding online and, the fake psychic mediums, like, I was dying at, and Carol probably remembers, like, Sylvia Brown and the Montel Williams show. I was watching that. Go to Alyssa's page and watch that. And if Sylvia Brown can have a, 10-year run on Montel Williams, like, she walks so we could elbow her out of the way and be like, let's do the real thing where Alyssa goes on whoever the new Montel Williams is going to be in 2026 and show them how it's done. It's like, thank you for making that somewhat normalized, but it's like, now let's make it normal to actually be authentic and be a real psychic medium who actually knows what she's doing, like Alyssa, a real human design reader like myself. And so don't let those people kind of get enmeshed in your brain in a way that doesn't need to be there. So yeah, I love this round of life for you as well.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah, me too. It's like, I feel like it's like, oh my God, I have all these opportunities. I'm so excited. And they're like, oh my God, I have all these opportunities. Like, this is crazy. So taking one step at a time. To be able to lean into that. But I will pause there for now. Again, I will send you an email with the link to the recording for everybody so they can get their 10-minute reading to listen back to it again and again. And then we have beautiful Maria Lisa. Is this my Maria, the Afterlife Diaries? Is this am I thinking of the right Maria? And then let me know in the comments, either my comments or you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for understanding. And yours. Okay. She said, do you see a future of me married or business owner? If so, when? So I don't think, she'll probably, yeah.
Oh, we're doing that now.
Yes, sorry. She's in, ML. She said, no, but you've read my chart before. Okay, perfect, yes. Once I saw your question, I was like, okay, different Maria Lisa, because I know the cadence of vocabulary. But yeah, different Maria. Thank you, Rose, yes. Rose knows her too. But yeah, Maria is over here in my comments, so I'll read to you. Yeah.
So let's talk about business. Let's talk about work. I want to talk about you working in beauty, the beauty space. I keep seeing hair makeup, more so hair. Let me know if that makes sense. That is literally the first thing I got when you said that. Also, random, but I'm seeing a lot of angel numbers for you, and I keep seeing the number 9.
She said no, but I'm known for my hair, so I wonder if we have Leo rising there. I'll take a look, but
I keep seeing 999. I don't know what the angel number means, but I feel like there's a need to look up that angel number, 999.
Usually endings, like a precipice of a new kind of cycle, like something. Okay. Yeah.
There's something about, but there's something about you working in something with, I know she said she has nice hair, but there's something about, if it's not working in hair, but there's something about beauty.
I love that.
Like that's what I'm seeing. Does that make any sense to you? Anything you're thinking? Because it just very much feels like that's the space.
She said, I see angel numbers all the time. Yeah.
Okay. There's something about the beauty space.
Fashion styling. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me see. So more like modeling.
I think we're like fashion styling is like if you, Alyssa, had an event where you're like, okay, I have my vision board party tomorrow, like, can you get an outfit for me, like, to put together? So like that kind of styling. Yeah.
I saw her like working on like models and stuff, but there's something about I don't know how exactly this works, but I am seeing something like getting contracts, to work in different environments, and I'm seeing a lot of like moving around for this as well. Now, I know that that's one piece of it, and of course we all have free will, but there is something, this is just being emphasized to me, so I do see this being really significant. And then on the other hand of it, it's not just that, I'm also seeing a different direction in design, because I'm also seeing interior design.
I love that.
Does that make sense? I'm getting anything that you're doing, I just am seeing you designing.
I was saying she has the 1/8 channel of inspiration in her human design body graph, so it's like leading by example in like the creative industry, but also like bitterness and other, like having to make sure you have all the contracts, like, this is my shit, it's Maria Lisa ML Designs, like, don't take my idea. Yeah.
And there's just so much more, there's so much more to this than I'm even seeing in this moment. because I also want to talk about a different aspect where I see her actually designing clothes.
I love that. She said, I love design and design apps for museums. I love that. That's so
I'm
cool.
even seeing designing clothes, designing outfits.
That's so cool.
So all of this is design. So my thing is, wherever you go, it's going to be really beautiful for you. There's just a need for you to like lean into everything, and then, like I always say, you'll know what feels right, because you're good at a lot of different types of design. But it's that question mark of, well, which one do I want to stick with, and where do I want to go? When it comes to, so I like to always talk about everything, but when the interior design stuff pops up, I'm seeing a very, I don't know what the word would be for this, but more, I don't know, like modern contemporary kind of thing. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah. I wonder, I was thinking of like the Whitney Museum, or like if you're picking up any of the areas of the museums that she's designed, or like working on in these apps too. The Whitney was my favorite always. If you're still in New York, I don't know if you're still in New York, Maria Lisa. It feels like it, but that frequency's deep.
Being like just a lot of just big, important people, working with important people. Not that anyone's like more important than anyone else, but just, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm just seeing a lot of like celebrities or like, you know, things like, I'm seeing you working in a space with well-known people. Whichever area you decide to dive into, but that's your thing. I see you running your own stuff. You work for yourself. That's what I'm seeing in terms of you running your own business, and I feel like it's going to be really fruitful for you. It's a high-paced environment that you can absolutely handle. You take no shit. Like, you're very respected. I feel that about you. Like, you just command a room. You know what you're doing, and your confidence will lead the way.
Yeah.
People just respect you automatically. Do you notice that? Like, when you walk into a room, you just command respect. People just automatically respect you. But I feel like that works really well because you just know how to take charge. And I see a lot of people working for you that just work. You work really well with them. And it seems really. I'm really excited. But my point is I see you going in that direction. That's my answer. That's my long story short.
Yes. Yeah, she's a 10th house stellium. I do as well. So there's a lot of, I feel like we may have crossed paths in New York at some point, but lo and behold, she also lives in the Hudson Valley. So it's like all that kind of area. And there's a mass exodus I think of the actor Walton Goggins. Did you watch White Lotus? Alyssa, or do you know of it? So he's been like in a couple commercials, and he was in a couple different shows, but Walton Goggins, like a lot of so like actors and actresses move or have like homes up in the Hudson Valley. So he was the first person that came to mind. And I would also Maria Lisa, look at Wildflower. I think that there could be like, what are the things that you allow? Because the huge word that keeps coming up because you're a projector in human design, right? So it's like, where do you feel bitter, and where has the bitterness gotten in the way of your creativity? Rightfully so. Like when you have a 10th house stellium, I also have that, as well as the 1/8 channel. Even though I'm not a projector, I just understand it very well because I've also lived it. Of like when I worked in arts and music management in New York City, you know, I'm with these men that were in high powered positions that were really quick to just have me be part of the staff behind the scenes, even though I'm the one that's like the creative ideas, and I was a young 20 something, you know. It's like the story writes itself, as always in history. And like you didn't come this far to come this far, is what, because she said I work with celebrities, but it scares me to start now. And I'm like, I feel like you would scare them, to Alyssa's point, more than they would scare you.
Honestly,
You know?
yes.
Yeah. I feel like, oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I just see her around a lot of celebrities, and like, there's nothing to be afraid of, because I feel like they just respect you.
Yeah.
And remember this, we're all people at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Celebrity or not, status, how much money we have, we're all human beings. I think there's a need for you to get out of your own way a little bit. Get out of your own head, because you can absolutely do this, and you are doing it, and I see you continuing to do it, and you're definitely going to grow a lot in your professional life. And yeah,
you needed a pause. I think it's like that exhaustion that you're probably picking up on too, Alyssa, like just that level of exhaustion of like, working so hard for so long, and then you're like, okay, like I burnt myself out, and now to your point, like saying like I don't have community and that's bittering, like you have literally the channel of community for you. Like I would like look in the Hudson Valley for like again, Wildflower is a really beautiful resort, you could stay there, but also look at like what are like the dinner parties that they're having at Wildflower on a Thursday night, like or there's a word for that, like that kind of dinner party. And I used to do them. I can't think of the name. Hold on, I'll find it quick. Where you like go and it'll be like a chef's tasting menu. I feel like, yeah, a supper club, like that, because you need to be around like food and like just like I feel like because I'm that way too, networking exactly like but doing like a supper club specifically, I feel the same way this year. It's like I want to be around cool people who are doing cool shit like Alyssa. Like who are the people that are like, Alyssa has her vision board party tomorrow, I have an event in Philly coming up in February. Like who are the people that are just like at the level of like, I don't want to be around people that are not willing to work for it or like aren't clearly making the right strides to like do what they have to do to be at the level. It's like that part of the exhaustion can also be for you like having to carry people. I wonder, are you also first generation? I get a lot of folks who have the 4037 channel that are first generation or just feel like I feel like it ran in my family until it ran into me sort of thing. Yeah, it feels like I have to create a social club. Absolutely. If it doesn't exist, like you're the disruptor in the market, right? That's entrepreneurship 101 of like, if you don't see something, say something, you know, like if it merely making it that. I actually have a very close friend of mine, client, who did my website is also a projector in the Hudson Valley. So we'll talk via email. You'll see the email from Melissa and I with the little recorded link here. So that way we can talk about that because she has some really good connections. She is part of the Gardner like business club or something along those lines. I'm not doing it any justice. Yeah, excuse me, burp of truth. The cycle breaker in my family. Yeah, absolutely. It feels like that for sure. Like just kind of like not really having the support that you need, but kind of knowing that you are the one who had the strength to be able to carry on in a way that not everyone else could. So I feel for you, but just pay attention to like, if, you know, with the social club, like similar to what I said to Carol, it's business, dot the I's and cross the T's. If you really have to assess if a barter is truly a barter for you, like Alyssa and I traded sessions because Alyssa is like at the level. I knew Alyssa was like, it was in her frequency before she even read for me, but like not everyone gets that role in my life because not everyone has the same skill set. Right? So yeah, it's like that kind of energy where it's like, just, you have that discernment. So use it appropriately and don't, it's kind of like, tiredness or exhaustion can let us have our guard down as like strong, confident women sometimes. And so when you get too comfortable in an area, it's like, okay, you may have caught me slipping for like 5 minutes, but it's not going to happen again. And you know that, but I think just to like, I haven't seen you, right? Like we don't know each other out of the context of the internet and this little portal. So it's like just that resonates so strongly. Alyssa picked up on it. She can't even see your comments. So it's like, that is so strong that it's like, there is not a doubt in her mind or my mind. I know that there's nothing that you can't do. So it's just a matter of how do you want to do it, and you get to create it, and that gets to be fun, right? Especially as a 10th house stellium. So I'm excited for you. Can speak those praises over you, and pause there for now. So,
like she has this creator energy.
Yes. Yeah. Do you see? Oh, sorry. Yeah. She said, do you see a wedding at all? I'm engaged, but I don't know if I should focus on work or wedding. Why is it not exciting to want to work towards your wedding?
I'm getting a lot of hesitation.
Yeah, it makes me a little nervous.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of back and forth. I keep hearing, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that you're feeling like this way because you're not entirely sure.
Yeah, the costs. Is it that so I eloped this year, and we got married in like stages. So we did like our elopement package at a place in Maine, and then we had a family party. I would consider like, is it the optics of what you feel like your wedding, what you feel like your wedding should be and like cost associated, or are you actually doing something that's like a celebration of your love and doing what you can? Like we did what we could for the budget that we had for our wedding now, right? So it's like, but I still made sure that it's like, okay, because I wanted my flower arch to be this specific way for this specific amount of money, that's why we're doing elopement instead of getting married at, I think like Park Chateau, you know, in the Brunswick, if you're familiar. But like that, you know, maybe not our place to go deeper on this live because you are a very stoic individual, but I think that I would also assess the, for treating you with grace and respect that everyone deserves. But yeah, I want to put the money into the business. I think that if you have a partner that doesn't make it possible to do both, I would also take that into consideration. You know, and we don't say anything to put you on the defensive, but to just give you some other kind of strategy baseline things to think about. But I would look at like, I think that you can be craftier where it's like you don't need to justify, like there's a lot of stuff that I do in my business to invest back in it that also doesn't require like $10,000 that would have gone towards the wedding, right? Like it maybe doesn't have to be an all or nothing situation. And is that something that's even you, or is it something that's projected onto the situation, not by you, right? So kind of thinking about that strategy. It feels a lot about like what other people are thinking about the situation, not enough about what you guys want it to be. Yeah.
Absolutely. Too many eyes, too many hands in the pot. You gotta stop. You gotta focus on you, what you want. Do it exactly how you want it. Who cares what other people think or how they want it? It's how you want it and what's gonna make sense for you in this moment, and that's it.
And I think, like, I'm surprised more people aren't afraid of you to, like, even have that option. Or, like, I don't think they've, like, I think it's kind of like, allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm Maria Lisa. Hi, hello. I'm getting married. This is my wedding. Like, that kind of. Yes. And you shouldn't, like, have to kick and scream at your wedding to get what you want. Like, you're the bride. Like, what do you mean that people aren't listening to you? Like, that's embarrassing for them. Like, what do you mean? You know, like we eloped on the new moon in Libra, and we went back to our room. We had our wedding cake, we had our champagne, we went back to our room, got changed and went out to dinner, and then we laid in bed for the next 3 days in our bathrobes and looked at the water. You know, like that kind of I feel like you need to do something that's like
focus on the romance. Like, now I need to focus on the intimacy, the romance, without going into graphic detail. You know what I mean? Just like the romantic aspects that everybody's so busy, but you guys got to make time for it. Pour the love back into each other. That's all I have to say.
Absolutely. We have a 15-minute pause in between, and then we have Lorraine, and then who's our beautiful last person here? Lorraine, and then Lori. Lori closing us out for the evening. She was the first one to join, so she's early to the party and staying for the end of the after party. But we'll pause for a second. I actually wanted to ask you anything else that you want to say before I ask you a question that I've wanted to ask you that I think it would be fun for you to share. It's a little mini interview.
No, I just love your energy.
Aw,
I just think we vibe. Like we just connect so well. It's so interesting.
Yes.
Like even when you were reading me for that first time, I was like, huh.
Yes.
Like picking up what you're putting down.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't have any questions. My brain's in like another world.
No, I understand. I know. That's like the fragmented part of my scattered Piscean nature at the same time. No, but and I think it's also helpful, like Ryan's known me for so long that like he kind of like vetted us for each other. So it's like we already had that initial, like, I know that if he's introducing somebody, like he knows he's introducing like the right people. But I wanted to ask you, what was your first experience with like being a psychic medium, or like how did you kind of start to know, or who did you see first, or what did you kind of feel first, or and you're a twin, so I was wondering if your twin also has the same kind of gifts and abilities as well. And so like hearing like kind of twofold question.
My twin might actually be in here.
Oh yes,
Tony,
yes,
hello.
Here? Hi Tony.
Let me see if she's in here.
Yeah.
So she's my identical twin sister. I'm so glad you brought this up.
Yes.
So she is also psychic.
Yes.
I call her the cancel queen. She knows weird things. Like she knows. She'll call me and be like, "Your client's gonna cancel today." She doesn't even know what I'm doing. Or she'll say, "This person's not gonna show up, but you're gonna not go to this event."
Oh my gosh.
So I call her literally the cancel queen.
I love that.
She just knows things. Like she's very, very psychic. She doesn't work in the space, but she is psychic too. And another thing that I wanted to bring up about twins is that when I get readings myself, oftentimes my sister comes up
Aw.
and people think they're talking about me. The psychic is like, this, and this. And I'm like, and then I'm like, wait, actually, it's my sister. I tried to make predictions for myself
Yes.
that wound up being for my sister.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, not for me. My most recent prediction was engaged in 2024 November, and my sister got engaged in 2024
Oh
November.
my
It wasn't me,
God.
it was her. Still like,
Yes.
yay, happy for her.
Of
But I
course.
thought it was me. And then my clients, I read for my own clients that are twins, and a lot of times I'll say something and they'll be like, no, that's actually my twin sister, that's my twin brother. So I had this conversation with a friend yesterday that it's just, I think that twins is just a different kind of energy and a bond.
Yes.
A long story short, my sister is also psychic.
I love that.
And then the other question, the first thing that happened for me, I like to go off on tangents if you haven't noticed.
We can pick up, I could pick up what you're putting down. I feel like it's like I think everyone that I work with is probably some variation of ADHD, but I know I can pick up on all the veins of conversation. And I think most of my clients are too. So we're like, oh, this is actually great.
Here.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yes.
A little bit of a storyteller. I get that
Yes.
from my dad.
Yes.
But very elaborate stories. But the first thing that happened for me, ever since I was very little, I always had dreams or cognitive dreams of basically the future. I would make predictions in my dreams about who would break up with me, this person's pregnant, this person is going to pass away, this person is ill, or I just think of somebody in my dream, they would call me the next day. I'd say, Brenna was in my dream last night, and I'd bump into Brenna, I'd bump into you, or I'd hear from you on the phone, and my whole life has just been dreams, and that was the first thing that ever happened to me, and I was like, oh, am I like a psychic? What is this weird stuff? Like, why does this keep happening? And as I get older, my dreams are just crazy. I talk to people in my dreams. That's a whole story for another time. So that's the answer. I'm curious about you. How did you know?
So the first experience that I remember was actually, because I've Scorpio stellium, so it's like I see dead people kind of like 101. So for me it was, although my dreams will sometimes be kind of crazy, I find more so that it was actually seeing spirit. So when I was 5, my grandmother lived up in North Jersey in Washington Township, like Bergen County. And my grandfather passed 6 years before I was born, roughly. No, even more so than that. My mom was 28 when she had me, and he died when she was January. It's actually his anniversary of his death is in a couple weeks, and he was also an Aries. So all my Aries energy, I feel like, is I know it well just in spirit form. But my grandmother was in an elevated ranch style home, and we had gone from her bedroom, which is on one end of the house, to like the den to watch TV, and we're like changing into our pajamas. And you know how like the houses have like the formal living room, like there was kind of like the formal living room we used to have, and you have like the casual one. And in the formal living room, there was kind of like a half wall. So it was like 2 pillars, and then the wall was broken with like decorative rock so you could see into the formal living room. And from one pillar to one pillar, I saw my grandfather. And I was like 5, so like I didn't know him. I knew like of him and kind of what he looked like, but he was like all white and like a very pure, like bright white, like in a white light way that I had never like experienced before. And so that was the first time, and I was so scared. And every night, I still do it. I'm 32 this year. I sleep with my pillow or blanket against my ear because I don't want anyone to talk to me in my sleep. So it's like that kind of like, I always feel like I'm very strict because I was scared when I was little at like keeping them at a doorway. Like, I feel like you're good at that too. Like, don't bother me. Like, stay over there. I don't want to, like, you know, there's so many, like, and I feel like as soon as I mention them, they kind of like come into the room. Like, I feel like we're having a party, you know, like it's 1955, like in my office, which, do you feel that? Hi, Josh. Do you feel like them standing in the room with you is the best thing? It's like they might as well be a person that's like right here.
Yeah. A lot of times I'm like, I just know you're all in here.
Yes.
We're all hanging out. We know that we're never really alone.
Yes.
But they do respect boundaries very well. Like when I'm sleeping, like right now, like I haven't slept for shit this week, unfortunately.
Yes.
So tonight I'm like, everybody F off.
Yes.
I'm going to sleep. Don't talk to me. But they normally, I say don't wake me unless it's an emergency or something that I need to know.
Yeah.
And anytime any of my family members are giving birth or anything like that in the middle of the night, I will just wake up.
Oh my God, that's
amazing.
amazing.
I'll look at my phone and I'll hear, we just gave birth. And I'm like, thanks, Spirit. I know that my phone is on D&D, so
Same.
Spirit wakes me up, and they know that wake me up only if it's necessary.
That's so funny. Oh my God. Hi, fellow Brenna. No,
They respect
I love that.
boundaries.
Yes, that's so funny. I remember my first like reading from a psychic, this woman named Gina, who's was based at Sayreville, New Jersey, but she's down in Toms River now, in one of those like very sweet like a 55 and up communities that like Toms River and like Brick are kind of like known for. I know you know the energy.
Yeah.
And she was like, your grandmother also wants me to tell you that like she doesn't like stand in there when you're doing anything weird. Like it's like that book like Do Ghosts Watch You Shower, like the OG kind of like it's like we had like I used to, and my grandmother, I kind of did like just knowing her so well. She's a Cancer sun, a fellow Scorpio moon like me. And then I was like, oh, she definitely is a 12th house Leo Venus. So like getting her like rising sign. And so it just like you can I've kind of retroactively intuitively picked up on, I'm very into, my dad, it was like, he's still alive, but he has some cognitive decline. So the long story short of that is that he kind of, I say, was like ancestry.com before Ancestry was a thing, because a lot of my grandparents were in orphanages in the Bronx. So for my Bronx family here tonight for us too, it's like that resonates very deeply. And I ended up going to college in the Bronx, but I have like all of the birth dates for like so many of my family members that immigrated from Ireland and when they immigrated here, and like looking at their astrology. And a lot of them are Aquariuses, so many Cancers and Scorpios, like so many. And I'm like the Pisces that feel. So I'd be curious, like now that I've said that to you, I'm like, go back and as many folks. What was your dad? I keep meaning to ask you like what.
My dad was an Aries.
He's an Aries. That's so, and so many Aries that we attracted here, like tonight too. So, because he feels to me, and I don't know if you feel this way, but it's like he's not like you just can't see him physically, but he's always with you. It's like he's very strong. Yeah.
Dad's always around.
Yeah.
He's always around.
Yeah, that's sweet. And I think like such a blessing for you to have, like having lost a parent young, like you have that disposition in doing what you do. It's like they're never really gone, you know, like it's just the way that it's like they take a different form. But I know a lot of folks that have actually lost parents at like young ages comparatively, and it's a very kind of like isolating experience, at least not to speak for you, but it's like, how do you explain that to your friends who have like no idea like what loss is like at that young, you know?
Yeah, a lot of people don't get it. A lot of my friends, their dads are still alive, and they have both of their parents still alive. So my friends, thankfully, are very supportive. But you know, it was isolating. I was 23, so everybody was like, "Yeah, my parents are still alive and well." I'm just like, "Yeah, my dad just randomly died."
Yeah.
But I have so much comfort because he's here right now.
Yeah.
Not to go off topic, but he was an Aries. My mom is still living. My mom's Sagittarius, so I'm surrounded by fire signs.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh,
chaotic.
That's so crazy.
She's an Aries moon too.
Oh,
My sister and my mom are all Sag Sun Aries moon.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh, so the genes were strong.
My brother's a Pisces.
Wow. Oh my. What day is his birthday?
Oh my god.
Is he March or February?
I have to go on my calendar.
That's okay. I know. Well, it's also when you're like everyone else's birthday.
Oh, sorry, February. I think he's February 24th.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say, it was like I felt like it was important to ask like March, because he doesn't feel like a March Pisces just by kind of like, yeah, because the February Pisces are a different energy than myself as a March Pisces. Like we have kind of that like funny energy, but yeah, that's funny to see.
Yeah.
4 minutes and then we'll pivot over. But I just, Danu, who's also Brenna, it's so rare that I find another Brenna, but I say it like I'm an Aquarius rising. So we're like I'm always connecting with people that have these like rare experiences, which I think you can relate to also, like having interesting experiences with your clients. But the funny story about the like etymology of our name is that my parents found it in an Irish baby name book. And I've been to Ireland 4 times, and they always called me Brenda. So I think it's like a refining, there's a Irish Gaelic name that's Brannagh, like Brennach. And I think it's the like Anglo-Saxonization or the English devolution or whatever the right word is of that. So to gift you with that knowledge, that took me like 32 years to figure out a little random lore.
I love that. I want to go to Ireland. It's amazing, right?
Yes. I think you would love it. It's just so, I think being like, a white person born in New Jersey, there's something nice about being able, and my family, like, I feel like if I had an Irish accent, my personality and my family's personality resonates as more Irish than we do American in some ways. But just that yearning for like connecting to like going to Italy or going to Ireland, like it's just kind of like, and I have family there. I talk to my family on WhatsApp that's still in Ireland. So having that, that connection to a place that feels just like a true appreciation of the culture. Like here we're so like spread out from our roots in so many ways, or a lot of us don't even know. So it's like just kind of having that groundedness of like going home in a way that feels really nice and like a lot of warmth to it.
I love
So,
that. But
yeah.
every time I'm in Italy, I feel like home.
Yes.
So I think that makes sense. When you go to Ireland, you feel like home. It's that ancestral tie.
Yes.
Like, I belong here.
Yes. I actually did a past life reading. I've only done one. Have you done one before?
No, I want
Yeah, I have Melissa is the one that did my, I think she still does them. She also does like another variation of like spiritual mentorship, but I'll connect you. And she, the one that I did with her, she like guides you through this certain meditation. So you hit a certain like theta level of your brain. And I had a past life where I was like basically like an herbalist, like an Irish like witchy doctor in Ireland, but I was like really bitter because like my husband and my son had died like young, like not together, but it was like, but I was just kind of like, it's that there's a book that's called Raising Irish Madness that like talks about the mental health crises that Ireland faces. That's why like it's known for drinking and coping and depression and a lot of that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's really interesting because like mental health is a big thing. And that's why I'm also, the last minute that we have talking about this, very strict on like, watching people in psychosis in this space and not reading for people that come to me with some kind of, amped up, ramped up mania. Not that I won't read for people, but like they could take something I say and run with it in a pretty dangerous way. So if I said to my spirit guides, I'm like, you put me here, help me fix this shit on this side too. Make sure that we have good boundaries with like who's meant to be here in this way.
You can't read, yeah, spiritual psychosis is a thing, and people that are manic, it's a thing. Like, you gotta be so careful.
Yes. So. My brother deals with it, so like I know it, like I just know all the signs and all the ways and that it manifests. And having like, I think of, there's so much I could say, but I'm gonna pause there for beautiful Lorraine before we close with Lori, and let me make sure, Lorraine, just let me know what how you're finding us today. Do you know Lorraine from your side? She wanted to talk to her dad, I believe. Was she her dad? Yeah.
Oh, we're doing mediumship?
Yes, she was. She's her father, Alan Joseph, is what she had written down. Okay. So is that
I've read for her before. I can again. Yeah. Do you want to go into it?
I'll have you start, and then you'll see. She also gave me her birth time, so I still have her birth info as well to do that half too. But yeah, if there's, just the quick question: did he also pass when she was young?
I wouldn't remember.
Okay, yeah, it's a different word. I know.
That I read for, and sometimes with mediumship, like if I'm with someone else, I'm like, oh, I'll let you read.
Yes,
because,
of course.
I don't remember last time I read for her.
Yeah.
If he even came through. Let me see what I get. Let me just describe what I get. So
yeah.
Let me shift my focus. So when I'm connecting to Dad, Dad very much feels like a stand-up guy. Dresses very well. He smells nice. He comes through very elegant. He just feels like a very elegant man. A man of his word, very well respected. I feel like a lot of people loved him. He also feels to be very religious as well, because I do feel that he would have went to church, like he was an active part of the church. Let me know if this makes sense to you. He genuinely just seems like a really good guy and a good dad, very protective, very kind. Let me see if there are any messages, because I know we're so limited on time.
Yeah.
He also keeps acknowledging having heart issues as well, so I was feeling that too. I'm just getting evidence first. Very religious. Okay, he feels like very much active in the, he was very active in the church. I feel like that was a big part of your childhood. Going to church every Sunday. And he also brings up somebody who I feel would be your grandmother. Also on the other side, who I feel like grandma was also an active part of the church. I know we didn't ask to talk to her, but I want to talk about grandma like singing in the church. And does that make sense? Like, I just feel like this, it's just such a big part of your lives. And I just keep hearing, let us pray. And your dad, there's a message in this evidence though, because I feel that with the praying, and I know you pray to him all the time and he hears you, but he's just saying, rely on your faith when things get tough. I just feel like things are not exactly where you want to be, or just, it feels like things the past couple of months have been tough or challenging, and a lot of maybe confusion with things, and he just says you have to rely on your faith. When the going gets tough, what's that saying? He's giving me when the going gets tough, the tough get going, right? Is that how it goes?
That. I like that better. I think when the going gets tough, keep going is like the baseline, but I like yours so much better than that.
Maybe I made it up.
No.
That's what he's saying. Dad feels really motivational. I feel like he feels very much like the way he speaks, the way he conducts himself is so just like he just knows how to command a room really well. I just keep seeing him on the podium. I feel like he even spoke at the church. So just, it's all about, he's placing me in the church and relying on the faith. That's really the message with this, with what's going on with the confusion with the job. Also, there's something else coming through. I feel a sharp pain in my back. Ooh, he says take care of your back. There's something here about back pain. He's highlighting the lower right side. Does that make sense before I go on? I feel like you're a lot like Dad in that way. Like, you know how to command a room. And he keeps saying, like, he's very motivational. I feel like he was very much like that in this lifetime with you as your dad. Like, you could talk to him about anything and he'll give you good advice. And he's there to support you and motivate you, even still on the other side. But he's saying, like, remember who you are. Don't forget who you are in this moment. And my daughter is capable of anything. She's capable of anything you set your mind to, he says. Like, and he's just very supportive, and he's pushing you to say it's going to be all right. You will figure it out. Please try not to worry, because I know you're worrying. That's your mom, the back pain? Okay, because I feel this back pain just sharp in my back, stabbing into my glutes. And he says take care of the back. I feel like this is impeding her walking. That's why he's bringing that up. Just messages for mom. I just feel like there's some concerns there with her walking, and there's also some questions of like moving in together with mom at some point. I feel like your mom, he says your mom keeps saying like I'm fine. She keeps saying I'm fine. But there's a need for her to say, hey, maybe I'm not fine, and maybe I'm not telling you everything. I just feel like there's these little things, like everything seems to just be impeding her walking. So there's just heavy emphasis on that, and he just says he's there for her, and that's why he's bringing up what's going on. The job stuff's the confusion is gonna clear up, because he keeps showing me like a new contract in February, March for your job. I'm seeing more February, so just saying it's okay. Like, it's gonna be all right, as cliche as that sounds, but he promises. I see you stressing, and I see you like, what's gonna happen? He just says, I got you. He's very much in this lifetime a provider, took care of his family. He's still maybe not taking care of you in the same way, because he can't in a physical aspect, but in a spiritual aspect, he's very much taking care of you. Just so much love from him. I keep hearing that. I want to leave you with this. I'll go to Brenna. He talks to you a lot through music and through dreams, so keep that in mind. Also, I feel like you smell his cologne sometimes. It's a very musky, it's like a very tiki, woody smell, and that's how he presents himself, so you may see him that way. Also, the dreams, the job and the money stretching, yeah. He says the job stuff, he keeps saying February, and maybe I told you that before, I can't remember, but it's going to clear up and you're going to get more clarity. So that is next month.
Love that.
So he loves you so much. I feel like he comes through kind of stoic. Chanel pour him. He comes through a little stoic. Like, I feel like he can come off as intimidating to a stranger, but he's actually super sweet deep down. I just feel like he's a very protective. Feels like he's a bit taller as well, the way he comes through. But just overall, just a very good man and just like man of his word. And I just love his energy. His energy, just like I feel his the way he again commands this room, and like he just comes through with presence. And I know who I was. Don't forget who you are. Very stoic man. Quite serious at times. No effing around. Doesn't take shit. Like no BS. This is what it is. And people could be afraid of him. I feel like he was a little strict growing up too, but like in the best way. Like he always meant well. It's just his stoic personality.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it feels like he had like all like everyone was kind of treated with fair. I also wonder if he was like Aquarius placements, but like you have so much Virgo in your chart, Lorraine, that it's like he knew what Virgo and your Gemini moon, both ruled by Mercury, like he knew what one-liners you needed as a Virgo child to be like, is your Mercury, your Mars, what else did I see? Your Pluto, your Black Moon Lilith, like there's so much Virgo energy that
He was a Virgo too.
I was gonna say, is he a Virgo? And I wonder if he was an Aquarius rising, because it's like I'm an Aquarius rising, and my uncle is the same way. Where like, if you see me out in the wild and like I'm not knowing that I'm being perceived, I look like a bitch. Like I have like such resting bitch face. I really do. Where it's like if I'm not on, and then people are like, oh wait, you're actually really nice. Like if I'm not ready to be like perceived, I'm just like in another detached kind of realm. I say like I'll go back to the spaceship because Aquarius is the alien, but and also something with orange rosary beads that are maybe made from like not what rosary beads are typically made out of. Like if he had like, if there's some sort of like, they're collecting dust somewhere but need to be like placed. I have like one of my grandma's rosary beads in one on my altar here, but another one in my guest bedroom, like displaying them somewhere. But I wrote down, yeah, orange rosary beads and Virgo. And Virgo's the guts. It's like the stomach issues, like all that kind of stuff. Like when you're really upset, it's like my Virgos have IBS. My dad's a Virgo as well. So I get that. Carol was just asking quickly, Alyssa, if we have time. Do you want to do one more? In addition, we have one more with Lori, and then are you done for the night? Okay. All right. So we'll wait.
Well, I gotta go to bed.
I understand.
Tomorrow.
We'll do this again, Carol. So, and Carol obviously knows how to find both of us. So we'll plan something. I'm inviting Alyssa back without asking, but yeah, it was fun to do. I'm glad it good energy together. But
those are her rosary beads.
Oh, her rosary beads. Oh, I love that. Yeah, he's like get the rosary beads out and like use it. Like I think there's just like because I saw them immediately around hands and like saying the prayers, like the Hail Marys and the like using them actually is like I wonder, I don't know if you're Irish, but it feels like that so much so, but it's like the Irish worry stone where you can get the little stones that have the divot in them and like you rub your finger in the little divot that's in the stone as like it's like the worry wart energy. I wouldn't be surprised if you called you that too. But it makes a lot of sense for your design. A worry wart. That's what my grandmother always used, worry wart. Like, cause you know, like when you worry, like people, like you can get warts when you worry actually. So it's that kind of energy. But yeah, thank you, Lorraine, for letting us read for you. And we're gonna pause as we have beautiful Lori, who's been so supportive and patient this whole live. So thank you.
Thanks to Dad for coming through.
Yes, thank you, Dad.
I was like, oh.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, your intuitiveness, but I think it'll be fun. Maybe next time we can lean more into like if you want to do more channeling in that regard, too. Yeah, thank you, Carol. Oh, told me okay, no problem. Thank you, Lori, for letting us know. So let me look at what Lori's question was, and I will edit your birth chart as Alyssa starting with you here.
Lori.
Okay. So relationship and marriage was her question, or what she wanted us to pick up on for her. So.
Okay, I'm actually getting something else because I'm seeing her in Florida.
Oh wow, I love that. Okay.
So there's something coming up about you in Florida, moving to Florida, living to Florida, living to Florida. You see me? Yeah, I can't do any more readings.
Yeah, I know. I know. I understand.
Speaking English anymore. I'm
Yes.
done. Good night.
The
Goodbye,
brain
everyone.
knows it's tuning down for the evening.
Going to Florida. Okay. Oh, you're going for 3 days. Okay. I feel like we're visiting somebody there. With who? Wait, was that to me or to Brenna?
Yeah, I can only see. So if you're in my live, like I can see the chat on this side, but it's like separated. I don't know why they do that, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why TikTok does that either.
Yeah.
And what was the other question?
Oh, relationship and marriage. But you were like, you're going to Florida. I don't care about that. No.
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 Yeah, like, because I always say no matter what you ask, even you know this, like, you probably do this for your own readings, like, even when people ask certain questions or they want to talk about certain things, sometimes Spirit has a different agenda and other things come up. So I'm like, I'm going to give you everything and then some.
Yes.
Because others, you never know what's going to come up.
The gracious pivot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They'll be like, what's happening with my marriage? And I'm like, we need to talk about your son instead.
Right.
Anyway, so, your marriage and I'm feeling a lot of, I do feel like we're with somebody now, but there's a lot of uncertainty with this person. I feel like there's a lot of uncertainty with where it's going. It feels like a lot of back and forth. And I want to talk about questions about, do I want to move with him? Does he want to move with me? I feel like we're distant. We have physical distance, long distance. I'm just seeing a lot of confusion. I'm not really seeing anything about marriage. I just see a lot of confusing relationships. Does that make sense? And I feel like there's this, whoever I'm seeing now feels like it's a big ball of confusion. None of this feels clear about like where this is going. Single. Okay, you're single now. Do you know who I'm talking about? I feel like I want to talk about a very confusing relationship that just it doesn't feel like it was short. It felt like it was something.
I was gonna ask if she was divorced. And like looking, yeah.
And it felt like I'm getting like a very confusing being gaslit or just not knowing where things were going. But the reason why this is coming up, I feel like this person's still in your energy. I feel like this person, your ex that lives in Florida.
Oh,
Maybe
there's Florida.
Florida. That's probably why that was coming
Yes,
up.
absolutely.
Okay, because that's where I started. But I feel like this person's just not out of your energy, but there's a sense of knowing that, and I think you know it already, if you go back, it's the same stuff, and I feel like this person is just like they like to be in controlling, it's my way or the highway, but like they're still lingering around you. I really feel that way. They don't want you, but they also don't want you to be gone. It's really gaslighting, narcissistic energy. Mm-hmm. Even though they don't want you and they won't make an effort for you, the minute you pull away, they're still lingering all around you. I mean, I feel like they're like watching your stuff. Yes, okay. I feel like they're on your social media spying. Very creepy. I see like sunglasses, and narcissistic people, of course, I'm not a therapist and I can't diagnose anybody, but like narcissistic people are like that, where he's just like spying on you and he doesn't. Again, I don't want you, but nobody else can have you. It's so weird and also super toxic and unhealthy, not only for you, but also your daughter as well. Like, nobody needs that stuff. And just like, you don't want to be around that environment at all. Whatever, like, just, you already know this, but stay away. I just keep seeing him returning. I feel like this was already an on and off relationship. That's probably why this is coming up. Because just coming back is like, he's still lingering, and I know you feel his pull. It's like feeling that energetic pull. In terms of you, there's a need for you to just snip, cut that cord entirely, because I feel like when you say, like, I'm actually done, because I feel like you've said that before, and then you do go back, which I know it's easier said than done, but until you're actually done, I feel like we need to set up space for somebody. We will set up space for somebody new, and then working through heartbreak, because right now I feel like you don't trust anybody, so you're not really making much of an effort to date. I keep saying like F everybody. I want to be married. I want to a date, but then also I don't trust people. So there's a need for you to like work on your heart space and just try to heal and like understand that not everybody is him and not everybody is going to be narcissistic and do what he did to you, and working through that space will open up and set the intention with also you physically trying to date again, all of that combined into one. I feel like you're actually going to meet somebody right away. I feel like once you really put your effort into, and then I'll go to Brenna, but I feel like the minute you put your effort into doing this, I see somebody right away. I see a one and done, honestly. I see like I'm dating, I'm trying, and here's this guy, and now we're one and done. This is my person. That's what I'm seeing.
It makes a lot of sense because Jupiter's going to go into Leo, which is going to be conjunct your North Node. And it's like it's like the yes person gate. It's like literally the movie Yes Man by Jim Carrey. Like if you saw that. But your life will go well. It's like when he says yes to everyone's prayers and then it goes really chaotic, but it's like this person is going to be such an easy yes for you. And Jupiter does rule husband energy. So it is like marriage with that too. So yeah, I love that. But like it's like Jupiter's still retrograde in Cancer for a little while. I forget the exact day that it goes, but it is at some point in the next like few months or so, if I'm not mistaken. But I feel like the word I wanted to say was like voyeuristic, and that this person was very like, they feel creepy. Like it's just like, and I think like I'm glad they're states away. Like it feels like I'm glad there's some actual like physical distance like between you and this person. Because you have a lot of like, to them it's like very seductive, like any woman that has we call like luminary placements like Leo or Cancer, because they're the only signs of the zodiac that are ruled by a celestial body, not like a Mercury or like a planet that we go further out in the solar system. And so it's very intoxicating to people, especially narcissistic personalities, because they're like, they want that they have to work for energy that comes natural to you that they just don't possess. And instead of appreciating it, and like the biggest, it always comes up, and I think when I have beautiful fire signs too, like it's like that fire that people want to warm their hands around, but they don't realize that they will get burned and extinguish the flame if they don't get close and put logs on it. So it's like, you love me for what I do, or like celebratory celebrity energy, but you have a 5-1 profile in human design, and this will make sense. You'll see your chart on the screen when I send you the recording, Lori. But as a 5-1, I always say that from my like blending the two of like psychic mediumship, intuition, and human design, it's like any 5-1 profile is somebody that like lost their last life or one of their very prominent past lives at the hands of another person for just being who they were. So in this lifetime, you carry over this weird resonance of like a fear that I feel like there's a lot of, we have chills on the left side, like a lot of experiences that you've been through that you don't know how you got out of them and are still here to live to tell the tale. Like gotten in a lot of cars with people that you shouldn't have gotten in the car with, like those types of situations where like you're like, okay, I didn't know I believed in God, but God was really on my side, luck, like that kind of energy. And that being very reflected. You have a completely open, G center, which is really like, it's like prime real estate for a narcissist for codependency, because they know how to say all the right things to you and make you feel really safe. But it's like, as quick as they can make you feel safe, it's like, let me envelop you and then like really create that. But the envelopment and like becoming one with somebody isn't wrong. It's a matter of like, when it's the right person, it's amazing, but when it's bad, it's awful. And so like, one side of the coin, that coin is now the penny that's defunct. We're not using it anymore. Let me get my silver dollar, and move forward in the coin analogy. But I think I was having a conversation with a friend today that reminds me of your energy so much, and happy belated birthday, by the way, January 10th. It's a lot of like, very high, very intense like life experiences. Like it's like you were pushed to like the 29th degree, and then, or the nth degree, and then you're like, okay, I got to get back up again. And also just resonating that like you are starting from scratch channel of community. It's like doing things very differently than the family that you grew up in. So you don't have like actual role models of what like healthy love looks like. So it's also twofold, where it's like, we know enough as we get older to make our own adult decisions, but also like when you're in survival mode for so long, especially as a Libra moon, like Libra's the scales, and it's like the anxiety is so tough for Libras. I see it actually the most out of any other zodiac sign that I read for with Libra, sun, moons, or risings, for me specifically. But it's really learning how to like have somebody that also puts like equal weights of gold on your scales to be able to ground in that way and really allow yourself to be able to just like ground in that, allow yourself to just feel a little bit more like grounded. Love doesn't mean that it's going to be boring forever. Like don't mistake stability with boredom. I don't think you will anymore, but I just feel like legally obligated to say that to you, just as like I want you to just have you deserve everything that you want, and it's not a matter of like if it's gonna happen, but when it happens, because you've allowed yourself to release anything or anyone that's been holding you back. Don't worry too much about like cord cutting rituals. Like, yeah, that feels like helpful as a marker, but don't feel like that has to be something that you have to do in order to move forward either. I think we can get hung up in all the rituals, and not to say that they don't serve their place, but spiritual TikTok will make you feel very quickly like you have to do those things and there's no other way out of it. Alyssa and I are very
just energetically,
Yeah.
she said so right. Energetically,
Yeah.
just saying I'm not letting him take up space in my head or in
Yeah.
my heart any longer.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah.
And now I move on. I'm gonna start dating again because I feel like you're not making too much of an effort right now. And there's a need for you to get your butt back out there.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing where's my husband, and there he comes. I'm seeing one and done.
Yeah.
There's somebody popping in. As soon as you do it, you're gonna be taken by surprise, and this is the one.
I love that. Very Capricorn Mercury of you also, by the way, during Capricorn season. We got like 6 days left. So write those things down. Manifest. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for letting us read for you, and thank you, Alyssa. I appreciate it. This was so fun to do, and I love, like, it was so nice to see us like on stage together, if you will. Being able to work with you, and yeah, me too. We'll have to do it again. I know my folks there's a couple people in the chat that were like, oh, like I want to make sure I'm back for this. And so we'll make sure we do a part 2 at some point, but I want to make sure that you get your beauty rest because you have a very big day tomorrow as well to be able to enjoy. And in the next like 48 hours, I'm going to do some of the work now, but the next 48 hours, I'll send everybody their recording. So I'll CC Alyssa on it. Does that sound good? Do you want to be CC'd on it, Alyssa? Does that work for you, Emma? Okay. And then it'll be so that way you guys can look at your timestamp and see the recording. And Alyssa, you'll also have it too. And I believe you can clip it in case there's any, I don't know, it helps to have it on a website or something like that too, if you wish. They'll be able to hear you, but not see you. So that just more intel. But thank you so much for doing this with me. I'm so glad thank you for reaching out to me to do this. So I'm glad it worked out. But I love a decisive woman who knows what she wants, like yourself. So that makes my life easier too. More of that in 2026 for all of us.
Oh, I hope everybody can do that for 2026.
Yes.
To make everybody's lives easier.
Absolutely. I think you will send everyone's energy back to them with sovereignty and being able to ground so that we can all sleep properly and enjoy and soak in the benefits. And we'll see you soon. Have a good rest of your night. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.